The world needs conscious leaders in politics. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why we need to have political leaders who prioritize human flourishing. So at the time that I'm recording this, the Democratic Party is hosting their national convention this week. And the Republican Party is going to follow suit next week and have their own virtual convention. And these national conventions are really considered by many people the opportunity for these political parties to present their vision for the United States heading into a presidential election, which here in the United States in 2020, that's going to be coming up in early November. So these conventions are often considered by many to be really critical to helping establish their platform and vision for the future of the party and making the case to the American public, to voters, of why we should vote for their particular candidate for president. So I actually have a personal history with these national conventions. I attended the 1996 Republican National Convention. Here's actually a photo of me. I was a youth delegate. I went as a youth delegate to the Republican National Convention. That was me with John Kasich, who ended up being the governor of Ohio and ran for president himself, and that was a photo of me with him. I actually got to attend as a youth delegate, and then I also attended the Republican National Convention in 2008 as a guest of the California delegation that year. I started working in politics at a very young age, and that's where a lot of my experience has come from. My professional career has been political experience and working in media relations, government relations, policy, things like that, and really focusing on leadership development in those areas. So I have a lot of history in this area, and the thing that I noticed about these national conventions is they're a lot like an ordinary industry convention that you'd go to, where there's a lot of parties and drinking and networking and deal making. And so these conventions, they have the added circus-like elements of being the center of national media for a week. Like all the national reporters are there. A lot of just, it drives the national conversation the whole time that convention's occurring. It really is like a circus type atmosphere when you're at one of these things. It's a very interesting experience to go through. And it's interesting, like I said, I started working in politics at a very young age. I was a young teenager when I started working in politics, and I honestly believed that politics is the way, political persuasion is the way that we're going to change the world. So it's something that really drew me in because I thought, I do want to change the world. I do want to make it a better place for people to live. So it was something that was really important to me. But over the years, as my level of consciousness has risen, I've started to realize that, my motto in life is be the change that you want to see in the world. And Mahatma Gandhi was the one who said that, and he was a huge political leader. That was what he shared with the world. And that has become my personal mantra. It's something I truly believe in. And I started to realize I need to work on myself. I need to be the change that I want to see in the world. If I want to see a more generous world, I need to be more generous. If I want to see a more peaceful world, I need to be more peaceful. If I want to see more kindness in the world, I need to be kinder. So I started thinking about what can I be doing? How can I change the world by changing who I am, by my very state of being? And when we change who we are, when we become that change, we share that light with others, and we raise their level of consciousness as well. So it's something that has really been a process for me over the last many years, is understanding, raising consciousness and the need for conscious leaders in the world. And if you decide to tune into these national conventions over the next few weeks, or I'm sure you'll see some news that come out of them, I encourage you to look for the conscious leaders. And unfortunately, they're kind of hard to come across. We don't see a whole lot of conscious leadership at the national level. Especially in a lot of these national conventions. We don't see a lot of that kind of leadership. Unfortunately, politics at this point seems to draw a lot of people with really big egos who are really all about themselves. And then the process just tends to feed that ego. And they really look out for their own self-interests or the self-interests of their allies or their friends. Sometimes we call that cronyism. So it's unfortunate that we don't really see enough of it at the national level, or really at many levels in the political realm. And just like the business world, the political world needs conscious leaders. I mean, we are in desperate need of conscious leaders. We need people who don't just view the world as us versus them, or prioritize helping themselves or their friends over doing what's right for everyone. That's really what we need. We need people who can look past the current political system of we win, you lose, or you win, we lose, and look at how can we create stuff together? How can we collaborate and do what's best for everyone, for all of society? It's something that we're in desperate need of. And something that I really believe is that if we really want to see political change, we have to be the change that we want to see in the world. And that means that we're all called to become conscious leaders, because the more that we increase our consciousness and we become conscious leaders, the more we're going to see that reflected out into the world. How we vote, how we interact with people, what we purchase, everything can change, because it's all about us and us becoming conscious leaders. So in this election year, I encourage you to consider how you can become the change that you want to see in the world by working on your own level of consciousness and becoming a leader who serves wherever you're at in life, becoming a conscious leader who serves and looks out for the best interests of all who are involved, all the stakeholders. And when you're ready to do that, let's connect, because this is the kind of coaching that I love to do, is working on the conscious leadership, increasing your level of consciousness and becoming the kind of leader who serves and can truly transform the world. If you're ready for that, you can reach out to me. If you want to read this article where I talk more about this, you can go to meredithturney.substack.com, or you can go to my website, meredithturney.com, and send me a note. Because I know there's so many of you out there that there's something missing, there's something that's not quite right, and you're ready to be that change, whether it's with your family, for your business, maybe you work in politics and you want to become a more conscious leader. This is the kind of coaching that I do. I help you increase that consciousness so you can become an awesome leader who achieves your dreams and impacts and changes the world at the same time. So, voting and political change are important. We need to be engaged in these systems that we have right now, and we need to be voting for the kind of people that are going to bring more of these consciousness type ideas that are focused on helping all the stakeholders. So I encourage you to become the change that you want to see in the world. You can make a difference. And the really cool thing about it is, regardless of who gets elected, you can still be the change. Regardless of who's in the White House, regardless of who's on your city council, you can still make a difference. You can still be that change by changing your very nature. We, the people, already have that power. So the question is, are you ready to embrace it? Are you ready to be that conscious leader that the world needs? If you're ready, let's connect. In the meantime, I hope that you will work happy, live happy, be happy.